Hello, wonderful people. I'm back this week to discuss the 13 things that won't help you to recover from hypothalamic amenorrhea and get the period back. If you're new to this place, my name is Claudia Vidor. I'm a nutrition and dietetic clinician by trade, and I am the founder of the Period Comeback Protocol and the Recover from HA support group on Facebook. So if you're not part of the Facebook group, just make sure that you join now by clicking on the button below, and make sure that you also subscribe to this channel. And please stick until the end of the video because there is going to be a 14 bonus tip. But anyway, just without further ado, I really would like to get in and discuss the 13 tips. So the first one is comparison. So comparison is not going to help you to get the period back sooner. Comparison is simply going to build up lots of resentment towards the women that managed to get the period back and managed to get pregnant before you do. And it's going to also make you feel very insecure about your choices. If you have decided to get your period back, if you have very strong whys, if you have a support net, and if you know exactly what to do, just stick to your yoga mat. And that's something that I normally talk about in the HA community. Stay in your yoga mat, don't look around. So just focus on what is important for you, which is recharging your energy, recharging your vitality, restoring your hormones, and without comparing yourself, your story to someone else's story, that you don't know, because you may be comparing your step 1 to someone else's step 100. And if you are in a position where you're not even sure if what you're doing is actually helping you to get the period back, then this is an invitation for you to reach out, get some professional support, get the support of a team of a professional, get the support of a community that can really help you to take your journey to the next level. And if you're interested in joining the Period Comeback Protocol and the HA community, once again, just make sure that you click on the link below. Number 2, beating yourself up. So nothing good is gonna come from beating yourself up. How often did you feel great or more motivated after spending a good 5 minutes sulking, whining, and beating yourself up? I go on and assume that it has never happened. And it does never happen to me, for me, and it has never happened to all the clients that I've been working with. Something that we forget when we go through hardship is that we can actually learn a lesson from what we're going through. And most of the time, hypothalamic amenorrhea doesn't happen to you, it happens for you. Meaning that if you put all the things in place right now to get your period back and restore the hormones, you may be also able to support your fertility, to support your bone health, to support your heart and your brain. So do not dismiss, do not disregard all the beautiful things that could happen to you while going through this process. And beating yourself up and thinking that you are the only one that is going through this, it's first of all untrue, and secondly is definitely not going to assist you in this journey. Step number 3, searching for quick fixes. Chances are that if it sounds too good to be true, it probably is, meaning that there are no quick fixes to get your period back. It all goes back to do all the things that you need to support your body. And it all goes back to genetic, for how long you've been experiencing HA, and for the amount of effort that you put into the recovery journey. There are no quick fixes. And I see lots of women that they do try medications, they do try supplements after supplements. And I was definitely one of them. I spent more than 2K in supplements in 1 month alone. And guess what happened? I didn't get my period back. I got my period back when I did all the work, when I got the professional support, when I was part of a community that could really lift me up. And I changed my lifestyle and my mindset. So if you're still out there looking for a quick fix, if you're reading every single article, if you're listening to any podcast in the hope of finding the miracle cure that is gonna help you and fix yourself, just stop now, because you're basically wasting your time. And chances are that you're going to go back to comparing yourself with others and beating yourself up. So please stop and instead do the work and stay in your yoga mat. Tip number 4, going all in when you're highly motivated to then give up. I see lots of women that they're afraid of going all in. So sometimes they don't even start the journey because they think that the only option is to go all in. And sometimes they do. They give their 100%, whatever that meant for them, to then panic when the weight gain starts to happen, or when they feel their anxiety creeping up, or when they feel frustrated because they don't see the changes, they don't see the results that they're looking for, and so they give up. And this crash and bust cycle is not really going to help you to get your period back. It's just going to lead to burnout, recovery burnout, and it's going to lead also to quasi-recovery, which is the worst place where to be in, because it's like being on a limbo where you're not enjoying the activities that you once did because now you feel guilty about them, but you're not in a place of moving forward and implementing other actions because you're afraid of what is going to happen. So if that's you, if you resonate with what I've just described, let me tell you that it's absolutely normal. I did experience it as well. And actually finding a team behind your back to support you, to nudge you, and to give you the right directions, it's going to be absolutely a game changer. Step number 5, holding on to guilt. So I have lots of my clients that come to me and they say, I did this to myself. I'm not going to be able to become a mother because of the choices that I made. I am the one to blame. And the reality is that holding on to that guilt, feeling that you are the only one to be blamed for what is going on around you, is just going to build up extra resentment, sadness, anger, and it's going to create even more stress into your body. The reality is that if back in the days you made a decision to restrict and overtrain, it is possibly because it was serving you. Lots of people, they lost a lot of weight and they started exercising more during lockdown just to avoid feeling more anxious and just to have something to look forward to while there was a virus out there that was about to kill us, or that's what we were told. And we were confined in the 4 square meters of our apartments, or maybe you live in a bigger house, so that's not your situation. But it was just a way for you to remain sane. And back in the past, let's say that you experienced a traumatic event, or you were feeling, or you were bullied in school, you decided, for example, to restrict your eating habits, and you started to train more in a way to really cope with what was going on around you. So overtraining, restricting behaviors, even an eating disorders are coping mechanism for when the anxiety is really high. The problem is that they are unresourceful coping mechanism, but you're not really to be blamed for it. You just tried to do the best that you could with the knowledge that you had. Now you have a different set of knowledge and it's time for you to move forward. The more time you spend looking at the past, the more you're going to procrastinate and really bask into the stressful thoughts. So might as well go on and accept where you are in life and decide to take different steps for the future. Step number 6, complaining about your situation. I do understand that sometimes it's very normal to complain when things don't go our way. But how much time do you spend complaining? If you spend more than 5 minutes every single day telling yourself that you're a victim, that this should not be happening to you, and why all the other women can exercise and have a period and I can't, why all the women can be slim and they have a period and I can't, why there are moms that, why there are women that can get pregnant even though they're living in a stressful situation. Stop, because this is not helping you by any stretch of the imagination. Complaining about the situation that you're living is not very resourceful. So allow yourself to whinge, if you live in Australia, for 1 minute every single day. Put an alarm clock, and when that minute is finished, just go on and do something different. Complaining about the situation that you're in is gonna bring up lots of sadness, once again, guilt, blame, and resentment. So stop complaining and start doing the things. And whenever you feel in doubt, whenever you feel that you can't really shift your mindset and you can't stop complaining, once again, just professional support, and your life is going to change dramatically. Step number 7, and I really hope that I'm counting them correctly, but anyway, just stay with me until the end. Focusing on your symptoms all the time. When women start their child recovery journey, they hyper-focus on all the symptoms. I have so many women messaging me and telling me, oh, I had just an abdominal movement. I had some cramping last night. I noticed that my basal body temperature increased by 0.1 and then went back down again. I feel that I have a headache. I have some acne on my chin. And even though sometimes it's good to bring awareness to these kind of changes, it's not very healthy to hyper-fixate on them, because otherwise your whole world is going to revolve around getting the period back. And even though I understand that this is important for you, it's also important to go on and keep living your life and keep enjoying the activities and keep spending the times with the people that love you the most, without spending many hours, once again, checking Instagram and Facebook, listen to podcasts to find a miracle cure. Your symptoms are there for reasons, and sometimes they may be related to the hormones, sometimes not. So instead of wondering, just keep on doing the right things. And when I say the right things, are the things that are normally part of the period comeback protocol, the one that I teach to my clients and the one that I discuss in the HA community. If you're not part of the period comeback protocol, you may find plenty of free resources on this YouTube channel and the private Recover from HA support group. But if you want that really customized support, make sure to click on the link below and to join us as soon as possible, as we are taking only 3 people this month, and then we are closing the doors for the remainder of the year. Then step number 8, try another rigid lifestyle or diet. Once again, I have some people that come to me and they say, I've decided to go keto or carnivore or paleo for the next couple of months and see if my period comes back. If you're really suffering from hypothalamic amenorrhea or even hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism, I strongly encourage you to look at nourishing your body and really boosting your energy availability instead of cutting off more foods from your diet. And I really invite you to welcome a variety of food instead of being rigid and creating new rules. And I'm just going to pause now and I'm going to move to step number 8 or 9, which is holding on to an old identity. Sometimes women, they hang on to the identity of the fit identity, the overtraining identity, the gym identity, the slim identity for way too long to a point that they change their identity and they don't allow the new person to come in and take place. So if you're finding yourself still holding on to the old identity, simply let it go. And how would you know if you're holding on to that identity? Ask yourself, what does your environment looks like? Do you still have a gym membership that allow you to go and exercise every single day of the week? Are you still holding on to the skinny jeans? Are you still wearing the Fitbit every single day, even though you have decided to simply do yoga for the next month? Do you have a scale in the bathroom? Do you have a scale in the kitchen? Are you still part of groups that reminds you that you need to be slim or you need to be fit to be worth it? Are you still surrounding yourself by people that go to the gym frequently and that's the only thing that they talk about? Or maybe are you part of a triathlon club that they go out and exercise every single day and makes you feel that you're missing out? So ask yourself the tough questions. And if you answer yes to any of them, I really encourage you to find a new identity, find parts of yourself that have been hidden for a long time and that you would like to bring out to light and you would like to experience again. Step number 10, believing that you're so unique that you are the only one that is not going to recover. I call it the unicorn syndrome. If you're telling yourself that your story is too complex, is too unique, it's easy for the other one because they just have to eat less, eat more, and exercise less. Well, you may be wrong. Most of my clients, they come from a place of restriction, sometimes even not that extreme. They come from a place of moving their body pretty frequently. Sometimes it's not even overtraining. And most of the time, they are on a normal kind of body weight, okay? So their story may be not that different from yours. But as long as you keep telling yourself that you're the unicorn, that you're not going to recover, chances are that that's what's going to happen to you, because energy goes where focus goes. So change the focus. Listen to a different narrative, but also implement a different mindset around the thoughts that you are having day in and day out. Step number 11, staying in an environment that pulls you down. And this may be very true and resonate with you on many different levels. We touched upon the gym situation. So if you're going every single week still to the gym and you get reminder every single week that you're not pushing as hard, or that you have gained weight and you have let yourself go, or you're going to a gym where there is a scale, so you compare yourself to your past self, that's not going to be very resourceful. Or you may be in even a relationship where your partner keeps telling you that you don't look as fit or as lovely or as gorgeous as you were when you were 5, 10, 15, 2 kilos ago. So I really encourage you to have a look at your environment. I really encourage you to have a look at the people that are around you. And sometimes you don't need to get to that extreme. Just look at the 5 people that you spend the most time with. And if most of them are in a situations where they keep on complaining about the current lives, they are suffering from infertility or don't have periods, or they think that life is unfair and they don't have anything to look forward to, my advice for you is to really start looking for new people out there, because I'm pretty sure that you can find people that can really lift you up and support your recovery journey instead of dragging you down. And if you don't have anyone like that in your life, I really encourage you to join the HA community, because the women that are part of it are extremely supportive, extremely open, and are beyond lovely and accepting. Step number 12, wishing for recovery to miraculously happens. If it doesn't happen after 6 months or even 3 months, then it's time for you to do something. If you have been to a doctor and the doctor told you, just give it 6 months and then let's see what happens, and during those 6 months you kind of don't really change your lifestyle, you may incorporate a different variety of foods, or you may tweak your exercise routine slightly. But if you don't see results, or if you don't see the results that you were looking for within a 6 months time frame, chances are that there is something else that needs to be improved. So you can't do the same thing expecting different results. That's the bottom line of this step. Step number 13, focusing on fighting HA instead of supporting your well-being. That resonated extremely true to me, because when I started my HA recovery journey, in my mind, I was a warrior. I am an HA warrior. I'm going to beat this thing. I'm going to really get rid of HA. I'm going to get my period back. And I focus on getting rid of the symptoms instead of focusing on feeling great within myself. And now that I say it out loud, in hindsight, it sounds pretty crazy, right? So why didn't I choose to focus on my well-being instead of spending most of my day focusing on what I didn't want? But that's something that I had to learn. And that's also something that I teach nowadays. Because as I mentioned before, focus, energy goes where focus goes. So really bring awareness to where you spend the majority of your time in your brain and outside your brain. And now the bonus tip, because you got to this point of the video, so congratulations for being here, by the way. The step 14 is the fear of failure. Lots of women, they don't start the process because what if it's not going to happen for me? Sometimes I do have women that wants to join the period comeback protocol and they ask me, what's the success rate? But once again, if you focus on your journey, if you focus on what is happening for you, if you stop comparing, if you stop looking around for certainty and you start looking inside of you, then the statistics are not going to be that important. Because let's look at IVF, for example. The statistics are really low. Sometimes they can be 25 to 40%, and still women go and do it. But once again, when the changes are in their control instead of outside their control, because IVF is kind of outside someone's control, it's in the doctor's hand and genetic and all of that. But when you join the period comeback protocol, you are in charge. You can make the changes. And that feels really scary, because what if it doesn't work for me? So instead of thinking of what if it doesn't work, I will shift the mindset and think, what if it works for you? And the reality is that two outcomes are very real. You're going to win, you're going to get what you want, or you're going to learn something about yourself. You're not going to fail. There is no chances that you're going to fail, because worst case scenario, you're going to learn how to advocate for your health, become your private investigator. You're going to learn how to shift your mindset, how to support your body, and what to do for when the anxiety is high, how to become an intuitive eater, how to move your body intuitively, and how to support your immune system, and how to ask for help and let go of that perfectionist tendencies and the people-pleasing personality. So there is no failing. When you decide to join the period comeback protocol or start the recovery journey, there is no failing. There is just winning on learning. And I have also women that ask me, how is the period comeback protocol different? The difference is that I'm not there to fix you. I'm giving you the tips and the tools to help you to move forward. I'm going to be supporting you every step of the way. But ultimately, you're going to be in control. You're going to be the one that is going to get the period back. And I've received plenty of messages telling me, you have changed my life. I am a mother now because of you. I would not be here without you. And I obviously thank these women incredibly. Like, receiving these messages is so empowering. It's so exciting to me. They really make my day. But I always answer back by saying, you actually did this. I was just there to support you through the journey, but you were the one that decided to have breakfast. You are the one that decided to change the training routine. You are the one that decided to work on the mindset, to show up to the group calls, to finish the materials of the online program. You are the one that supported the other women in the Chi community and asked for support. You are the one that made that happen. And I want to make it clear. So the period comeback protocol has this difference. There is nothing out there that can fix you. You can fix yourself. Right now, you're just missing the tools and the strategies to make that happen. Possibly because you have been living in the thick of it for a long period of time, and because you have been trying lots of different things for not enough time. So thank you so much for being here today. And if you want to learn more about how to work with me and my team, click on the link below. Bye for now.